What's going on? Grant Cohn here. Just got back from camp, and people are scaring me in the chat section about Nick Bosa. So I guess this isn't true. People just saying that he got traded, and I'm like, what's going on? Why are you doing that? Bosa to the Finns, Bosa to the Jets. Anyway, start over. Grant Cohn here. Just got back from camp. Day 11. Going to tell you all about the quarterback stuff, non-quarterback stuff, and the joint practices with the Raiders that are coming up. My strategy for how I'm going to cover it. But first, I got some news I want to share with you guys that I'm excited about. I got my first sponsor. BetUS is sponsoring my YouTube channel this year. And so I wanted to tell you about it. There's a link in the description. If you click on it and want to gamble with BetUS, I don't know if you're into like sports gambling and stuff. I figure most sports fans are, because like what else are you watching for other than just like rooting for stuff? I don't gamble on stuff very much because I'm not good at it and I usually lose, but I feel like other people are good at it. And if you are, then you should probably click on this link, because if you like put some money down, they like match it and up to 100, like and add 125%. So if you put down $100, you get like $225 of gambling credit, which sounds like a good deal. It sounds like a great deal. And you can bet on like over-unders for the Niners and all kind of stuff. And my plan during the year, you know how me and Jesse Naylor do like the over-under game? It's going to be sponsored this year. And you can actually bet on these things that Jesse and I predict during the season on BetUS. So into that kind of thing, you want to gamble, this company is extremely reputable, which is why they chose me and I chose them. Go to the link in the description. You'll get a bunch of credits to start gambling on the 49ers or whatever sport you want. It's not just football. Anyway, that's my little spiel. Thank you, BetUS, for sponsoring my show. Let's talk about training camp. It's the Brock Purdy show. I'm not supposed to lead with Trey Lance, but it's undeniable that he's the person most people want to talk about. Even Brock Purdy fans would like to spend most of their time talking about Trey Lance. For whatever reason, he is the biggest draw on the team. And I think the question right now is, why is Trey Lance still on the team? They said they have Brock Purdy. He's their starting quarterback. He's healthy. He's back. And Kyle Shanahan says he's the real deal, right? They also have Sam Darnold, who Kyle Shanahan says could be the next Steve Young. And they have Brandon Allen, who they love, and they have to give reps every day, even though he's the fourth-string quarterback. So why is Trey Lance still here? They have three quarterbacks they like. They have a starting quarterback who's the real deal, which means he's a franchise quarterback. They have two backups they like. And they don't have really anything nice to say about Trey Lance other than he's finally improving a little bit. So why is he still here? They don't need him. I don't think they want him. I don't think he wants to be here, and yet he remains. Why? It's the question on everyone's mind. It's the question of the year. What's going on? I have a theory. Feel like the 49ers know. I feel like they're down on Trey Lance because they know they can't coach him. They're a bad fit for him. They didn't do their homework on him. He required a lot more hands-on coaching than they expected. They thought, oh, he played under center at North Dakota State. He did really well in this S2 cognition test. He's ready to go. Nope. He needs a complete mechanical overhaul. Is anyone equipped in this organization to do that with a quarterback? No. And they know that. They tried. The last couple years, they sent him to various throwing coaches. John Beck, 3D QB, didn't work. And I think they've kind of thrown up their hands and realized, look, we can't coach a guy like that. We coach quarterbacks like Brock Purdy, Jimmy Garoppolo, Sam Darnold, guys who are essentially already developed with lots of experience. The best we can do is put them in a new scheme and hope it brings out the best in them. And that's not what Trey Lance needed. Trey Lance needed actual hands-on coaching that they can't give. Kyle Shanahan can't do it. Brian Greasy can't do it. Rich Gangarello couldn't do it. An actual quarterback mechanics guru is what they needed. But so It's the fact that they know they can't coach him. They can't really help him. But it's also the fact that they know someone else can. It's been proven now. Jeff Christensen has gotten results with Trey Lance. Other coaches who know what they're doing when it comes to throwing mechanics can have success with Trey Lance. The Niners know it, and they're terrified to let someone else get their hands on him. Jeff Christensen showed him up in one offseason, 90 days, 2 different sessions, if that's what it was. Could have been less. And the Niners are afraid. I'm sure the rest of the league is taking notice. Like, hey, maybe if we get a quarterback like Jeff Christensen or a coach like Jeff Christensen, or Trey keeps working with this guy, we can actually get the improvements that the Niners couldn't get, because the Niners don't actually have a position coach at quarterback that can improve people like they have at offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, running back. They're afraid. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that guy who's going. So the Niners are a guy that are sort of like dating out of their league. They got this quarterback, Trey Lance. They don't know what to do with him. He's a little too good looking. He's a little out of their league, and the Niners know it. Instead of just breaking up with him, letting him go, trying to make it seem like there's something wrong with him. There's something wrong with him, but the rest of the league is just waiting for this guy to be on the open market, because they're like, no, there's something wrong with the 49ers. They don't know how to coach this guy. They're just insecure. They're not equipped to coach this guy. They're insecure about it. They know it. And they're trying to make it seem like there's something wrong with this kid when there's nothing wrong with him. They just haven't coached him well. And they know it. So they're going to hold on to Trey Lance for the whole year. And probably next year too. They'd rather him rot on the bench than ever play for another team. If they really thought Trey Lance sucked, they'd just cut him or trade him for whatever, a 6th-round pick, and say, whatever, like, good luck with that bust. But no, they won't do that. They'll never get enough for him. They'll never actually play him. They might bury him behind. They might put him at 3rd string behind Sam Darnold, but they're never going to get rid of him because they know another team could coach him better than them. So they'll hold on. They'll bury him. They'll make it seem like he's not doing something right, or he's not living up to expectations, or he's improving. He's just no Sam Darnold. He's improving. He's just no Brock Purdy. When the reality is, if you ever actually gave him a chance, he'd probably be just as good as those two guys. If not a little better, who knows? But he's not going to get that chance. He knows it. The Niners know it. Only way he gets that chance is if a bunch of people get hurt. Because the Niners have the real deal at quarterback. The real deal. And it ain't Trey Lance. Even though he's the one improving. Not Sam Darnold. Not Brock Purdy. Trey Lance. But he's did it in spite of the 49ers. And John Lynch even said it. Like, so impressed that Trey Lance took the initiative because it wasn't our idea. Adam says, yo, Grant, can I get a B-Day shout out for John? Happy birthday, John. From Grant. Preach, Iggy, preach. I'm telling you, because they try to make it seem like, or people that hate Trey Lance try to make it seem like the Niners have seen Trey Lance, he sucks, move on. They won't move on. Maybe if it wouldn't work with Jeff Christensen, maybe if that had been a flop, they would have traded him for a 6th-round pick and washed their hands. But now that Trey Lance is making strides, in spite of them, away from their facility, not here, they're like, damn, if we get rid of him, is some team going to make us look even dumber than we already look with this Trey Lance situation? Possibly. So let's not do that. Let's just keep him and say he can't play because he's not good enough, but we also can't trade him. I'd be really frustrated if I was Sam Darnold in that situation. I mean, if I was Trey Lance in that situation. Sam Darnold must be really happy. Trey Lance must be really, really frustrated. You don't want me to start. I can't even compete for the starting job. You're considering making me the 3rd-string quarterback. Can I leave now? Like, can I transfer? Excuse me, can I transfer out of this freaking organization? And then I was like, no, because there's a good chance you'll go to another spot and make us look bad. So you're going to stay here and play not at all. So you don't make us look bad. It's like, can I make you look good by playing? No. We don't like you that much. We think you suck. With us. But somewhere else you might be good. So you can't play at all. No football for you ever again. Sorry. But we traded 3 first-round picks for you, and we're going to look stupid if you play well somewhere else. So we can't let that happen. So you have to never play football again. It's fair. Fair's fair. We gave you $22 million. You can't complain about it. Sure, we ruined your career, technically, and, set back your development years, technically, but that's football. So what? What are you going to do? Complain about it? Everyone loves us. No one knows you. A lot of people don't seem to like you. I don't know why, but everyone likes us. We're geniuses, Trey. Who are you? Probably just shut the hell up and take it, huh? Which is what he's doing. I know. That's why I keep bringing up this Trey Lance thing, because it's like so obvious that he's getting a raw deal, but no one cares for whatever reason. Because he got paid, because he's handsome. I don't know. Anyway. Sorry, Trey, you're not going anywhere. Quinn Howard says, want to keep Trey Lance down so they can re-sign him cheap. Yeah, I don't think he's going to. You think if Trey Lance had a choice, he would sign with this team? I don't think so. Man, I really hope they don't trade Trey. Don't worry, they won't. Chris Tellerico says, it's going to be hilarious when Trey finally hits the open market after he plays a couple of games this season. The right side of the O-line is going to make it happen. Can he decline the fifth-year option? Oh, they would never give him the fifth-year option. It's too expensive. He's going to be gone eventually. In 2025, Bill Nation says, would you rather poop every time you stand or piss every time you sit? Also, I can't stand how some players and staff can't accept criticism. I don't know. I don't really want to think about that. Okay. So I can't do the show with my dad today. He's busy. We're going to pick it up next week. But he asked me a question. He said, who is the best quarterback on the 49ers right now? Honestly, when you're at camp, what are you seeing? Is it Brock Purdy? Is it Trey Lance? Is it Sam Darnold? Is it Brandon Allen? Who is the best quarterback on the field every day? It's a really good question. It has nothing to do with last year or what Trey Lance did in the past or what Brock Purdy did in the past. Purdy's coming off an injury. Lance is coming off an injury. He's totally reworked his mechanics. These are different guys. Who is the best quarterback on the team right now? And the answer is it doesn't matter who the best quarterback on the team is right now. It doesn't matter if Brock Purdy is a little bit better than Trey Lance or Trey Lance is a little bit better than Brock Purdy, because neither one is good enough to win the Super Bowl this year. Neither one. Brock Purdy, he has so much poise and leadership and confidence and maturity, and his aura is impeccable. Every single intangible you can mention is great with Brock Purdy. It's just that the tangible stuff with him is extremely underwhelming. Extremely. As a thrower, he's more limited than Jimmy Garoppolo. All the things we didn't like about Jimmy Garoppolo, that's Brock Purdy plus. And he's coming off an injury. And he's 23. And he's inexperienced. And defenses are just starting to get a book on him. And the right side of the line isn't that good. And he's gotten hurt twice in 8 games. And he's going to be under duress a whole lot. And and if he starts week 1, he's probably not going to be starting week 17 because these are the 49ers. I don't mean to rant. I'm trying to keep myself calm. But it ain't Brock. Kyle can call him the real deal. He ain't. Not yet. Trey Lance, making strides. Quickened up that release. More accurate. Better at throwing the short stuff. He's not ready either. 4 career starts. Doesn't seem happy. Doesn't seem confident. Promising player who has his own struggles. Today he was really good. With 7 throws. Playing with the second and third stringers. I mean, he's really had no time with the starters this year. So if all of a sudden you wanted to throw him out there, maybe he'd be like Brock last year, or maybe he'd have no chemistry with the players out there and he'd struggle. He's not getting prepared to start. He's getting prepared to get buried. And then there's Sam Darnold, who threw an interception today and is not good. Like he's definitely the worst quarterback on the team. I don't know if Brandon Allen counts, but let's take Brandon Allen aside. Darnold is definitely the worst quarterback on the team. He's not good. Lance has improved, but it's just practice, and we've seen Brock Purdy win games, but none of these guys are winning the Super Bowl this year. I feel pretty confident in saying that. It's August 8th, 2023, and I'm saying that none of these quarterbacks are going to win the Super Bowl this season. I'm saying it with my chest, and I'd be happy to be wrong. But that's the impression I get every day when I walk off that practice field. Man, this is a hell of a team. Great team. With a really super duper mediocre quarterback room that they can prop up because they have coaching and defense and weapons and stuff and media people that just want to praise everything the 49ers do. But honestly, if the question is who's the best quarterback on the 49ers, the answer is none of the above. And I think we got to stop comparing Niners quarterbacks to each other. Anytime you criticize Brock Purdy, people say, yeah, but he's better than Trey Lance. Who freaking cares? What does that prove? Oh, well, that means the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl this year. Oh, he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. What does that prove? Jimmy Garoppolo is having a meltdown right now with the Raiders. Can't wait to see that. The best quarterback on the 49ers is the quarterback they haven't acquired yet. The guy they're going to get next year when these guys don't work out. That's the best quarterback on the 49ers. And then the best quarterback on the 49ers after that will be the next guy they get. Because Kyle Shanahan can just keep playing this game forever, and then the Yorks are just going to smile because they hired him and they think they look like geniuses for having him. They are making money. The best quarterback on the 49ers is Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel. Juan Torres is the best quarterback on the 49ers. If Purdy were to get injured, Trey would play and shine. I don't know that he would play and shine. This is Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers. I have no idea about that. He might get hurt again. Claudio says, with that shaky right side of the line, all these quarterbacks getting a shot during the season, quarterback talk needs to chill. Purdy's elbow not holding up. D Wood, 7,300, says, oh, he's improving in camp. Trey needs to take the job. From what you're reporting, he's improving, but he has to have F this attitude and ball out. He does. Poppy Chulo, what's up, Poppy Chulo, says, that's football. Shanahan's famous last words. Please remind him that on his way out the door. Hey, that's football, baby. Nathan Flores says, that's why I ain't getting Brock jersey. Could be a different quarterback in 2024 entirely. Yeah, wait on that jersey. Rob Schneider says, Grant, you and Dave Lombardi and a couple other Niner journalists are always off with your own views on how the day went. Someone's feelings are in the way. Well, we also show our work. You can watch us. You can watch him. Me, all decide who you agree with. We do our best to explain what we're seeing. It'd be nice if there were official stats, but there aren't. Rob Schneider. Chris Tellerico says Kyle won't win a Super Bowl as a head coach, period. It's funny how Kyle thinks Brock's the real deal when his physical limitations are everything you need to play the position. When his physical limitations are everything you need to play the position. Yeah, I think Kyle likes the idea of winning a Super Bowl with the most physically limited quarterback in the NFL. I think he think that's cool. Like he is turning the difficulty on Madden up to expert or something. I haven't played Madden in 20 years. Tomorrow I'm flying to Vegas for the joint practices. They are Thursday and Friday morning, and they're a very interesting event. The Niners have them every year. They're difficult to cover. So a typical practice is 90 players, and it's offense, defense. It's all, I mean, when they warm up, they're in different areas, but when they're actually scrimmaging 11 on 11, they're all on one field. It's almost like a fight at the playground. You got the offense lined up on one sideline, or the offense lined up behind the ball, the defense lined up on one sideline, and they're all huddled around the players on the field, watching the violence that's about to take place on one. So it's a very spotlighted event. Everyone can see what's happening. Joint practices are 180 people. And when it's time to do 11 on 11s, there are two fields going at once. There are two team drills sessions going at once. On one side, you got the Niners offense against the Raiders defense. So that's Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, Sam Darnold. That storyline. On the other field, you got the Raiders offense against the Niners defense. That's Jimmy Garoppolo against his old teammates. So me, the journalist, I have to make a decision. What am I watching? 2 days. Which side am I watching? Do I split it up? Do I only watch Niners offense? Do I have a day where I watch Niners defense? Do I only watch Niners defense? Is Jimmy the story? Are the Niners quarterbacks the story? What would you do in this situation? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch the 49ers quarterbacks because that's the story. You know what ain't the story anymore? Jimmy freaking Garoppolo. He's history. Used to be fun to talk about him, but ultimately him flourishing with the Raiders or going down in flames with the Raiders doesn't freaking matter anymore to us. If he throws a bunch of interceptions against the Niners, we'll chuckle. If he throws a bunch of touchdowns against the Niners, we'll make note of it. We might compare it to what the Niners quarterbacks are doing. It will be interesting to compare what the Niners quarterbacks are doing to what Jimmy's doing. But I can't do that because I can't watch two things at once. I have to choose. So I'm choosing the 49ers quarterbacks. Thankfully, friend of the show, friend in general, Ryan Sakamoto, covers the Raiders. He's going to be at the practices. So what I can do is I can ask him to chart Jimmy Garoppolo. So I can't tell you what Jimmy Garoppolo's looking like, his demeanor. I can't describe the throws, but I can get the information. And we can compare his numbers to the real deal the real deal Brock Purdy's numbers. That'll be interesting. But I can't watch both of them. And right now the story's Brock, not Jimmy. That's my game plan. Sorry, Jimmy. What I will do is I'll walk over to Jimmy Garoppolo and say, hey, man, it's so great to see you. I miss you. Should I do that? Might be fun. What do you think he'll say? I'd kind of like to do that. Hey, Jimmy. Heard things are going great. All the best. Keep proving us wrong. Yeah, I'm not going to watch Jimmy at these practices. Khalil Kemp says it's okay if this team doesn't win the Super Bowl so long as they think they won the Super Bowl because we all know that's what really matters. It's true. You know how people like talk about the participation trophy generation? Aren't the Niners like kind of flirting with that? They haven't gotten the real hardware and they're acting like it doesn't matter. Like that's not what it's all about. Okay, then just print yourself up, make yourself a participation trophy and be done with it. Ricky Williams says, need help at D-line. What trade we making at the deadline to upgrade this roster? Have draft capital. We got to make a move for impact player. If we are all in, we're going to scrap this team anyway in a few. You really think the midseason trade is going to be for someone on defense? This defense is always good. It starts good. It ends good. It's the offense that can't get its stuff together until Halloween, until the trade deadline. Even when they went to the Super Bowl, their offense was lagging. Their starting wide receivers were Marquise Goodwin and Dante Pettis until Debo asserted himself and they traded for Emmanuel Sanders. They had to overhaul the offense. The offense is always the thing that starts slow. So it's going to be this year. I don't know. They're going to a quarterback probably. How about that? They trade for a quarterback. They're going to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo at the trade deadline. How about that? Kirk Cousins at the deadline. Am I wrong? Probably. But what if I'm not wrong? How about that? You didn't think about that. Pete says over 2 fights at Niners-Raiders practice, and it's going to be Jimmy. Max Crosby versus Colton McKivitz. Maybe. Please do a collaboration with Ryan Sakamoto while in Vegas next week. It's a good idea. I'll see what he wants to do. I'll talk to him. Chris says, watch the offense. Can't wait for Kyle to realize that he needs more than 24 points per game. This defense isn't going to be the reason they win. Yeah, I don't know about this defense. We'll see. Grant, we're talking about practice, man. Better to screw up during practice than in games, as Tavarius. True. Good call, Tavarius. Shreddy Murphy says, I heard Nick Wright question Kyle's ability to evaluate quarterbacks. Finally needs to be hot seat year for Kyle after that real deal comment. See you in LV. Yeah, I just feel like that was not smart for Kyle because he could have always been hedging like, Brock's the best we got, but I'm still looking. But as soon as you call him the real deal, like, all right, well, then win the Super Bowl. Because that's the only question like most people have with your team. I mean, insiders know the right side of the offensive line ain't it, but most people just feel like the Niners are a quarterback away. You say Brock Purdy's the real deal. Ipso facto, Ipso facto, you should win the Super Bowl, right? Manny Fresh, great producer, says, when will Kyle Shanahan get fired 7 years without a solid quarterback? Never. Because he's a genius. All right, one more thing. Then I'm out. I don't do just quarterbacks the whole time. If you have non-quarterback questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. But I'm seeing some disagreement on who the best running back on the team is after Christian McCaffrey. Is it Ty Davis-Price? Is it Jordan Mason? I mean, it would be Elijah Mitchell if he could ever stay healthy, but he can't, so I'm not saying Elijah Mitchell. I've seen the arguments for Ty Davis-Price. Argument for Ty Davis-Price is that he's just as big as Jordan Mason, 220, but faster. Runs a 4.4, not a 4.5, 4.6-ish. Burst to the edge, really can get the outside runs, the tosses to the outside, can threaten the edge, makes one cut, decisive, gets downhill, going to be averaging 5-6 yards a carry that way. I see that. I think that's all accurate. But Jordan Mason, to me, is much more special than a one-cut runner who's got a little bit of burst to the edge and some violence in his pads when he finishes the run. That's Ty Davis-Price. Jordan Mason has that too. He's not as fast. Maybe he won't get all the way to the perimeter, but he can run every run. He's just as decisive, and he's much more agile. He can string multiple cuts. He's not a one-cut runner. He gets downhill quickly like one-cut runners, but then he has more cuts in him. He can make guys miss. Ty Davis-Price isn't making anyone miss. Ty Davis-Price isn't making anyone miss. Jordan Mason makes at least one person miss per play. He had a touchdown run today on a draw on 3rd and long. Easy. He's a load. He's really quick. He's a really good receiver. Not quite as fast as Ty Davis-Price, but better at everything else. And Ty Davis-Price is good. So that's the way I see that running back spot. To me, the Niners, you're never going to have exceptional quarterback play on this team, but they do have exceptional running back play most of the time. Whether it's Mostert, Debo, McCaffrey. These two, Ty Davis-Price, I don't think is exceptional. I think he'll be good, but I think Jordan Mason could be exceptional as well. Just wanted to say that. You think Womack will start this season? No. I think Diamador Lenore has been really good in the offseason. I think it's him and Travarius Ward. And maybe Womack would be the next man up. But as of now, no, I don't think it is. The best running back is obviously Debo. You know, that's interesting. I haven't seen Debo run the ball one time in training camp. Like last year, they had him line up in the backfield and they kind of like, they didn't even hide it. He's one of our running backs. We're going to install this. We're going to make it part of our offense. This year, he's like 10 pounds lighter. Not one time. They've handed to him on end arounds like 3 or 4 times, screens, all that. I mean, extended handoffs and like jets, reverses and end arounds. Yes. Running back, not one time, which is smart. Enough of that. That's over. Also, not one zone read all offseason. I was thinking today they might install it because no fans for the first time all offseason. Nope. Again, that shows you the Niners, I don't think they want to do the Trey Lance thing anymore. They know they're not equipped for it. It's not 49ers football. So trade him. Get rid of him. They won't, though. But they won't, though. Lance Darnold alone, Grant. He's trying. Leave Darnold alone, Grant. He's trying. Jed York's wife. I can't read anymore. Thank you, Jed York's wife. Big Sosbo says, sit Brock for 4 games to get him 1,000% healthy. Trey has 4 games to earn the job. If he's average, a now fully healthy Brock comes back. I think it's kind of unfair to do that when you're giving Brock like 95% of the first string reps in camp. They got to go with Brock now. They wasted an opportunity to get someone else ready for week 1. It's all Brock. Madness Demenis says Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl like Will Ferrell in semi-pro participation trophy. Also, do you think we can still be the most physical team in the league? Yeah, for sure. Although the Niners have played how many games the last 2 years? 40? 40 games since the start of like the last 2 years, right? That's exhausting. At some point, they may not be able to keep it up. Anyway. Thanks for watching. If you think I'm a Trey Lance hater or a Brock Purdy hater or a Trey Lance supporter, I dislike everyone equally. I dislike you. I don't like your face. Yeah, you right there. I'm talking to you. I dislike everyone equally. So it's not personal. I'm just not a people person. I prefer animals. Squirrels. Squirrel never ever said anything mean to me. I have a squirrel in my backyard, see him every day. Great guy. He says hi, I say hi, we keep it pushing. People? No. So, Brock, not rooting for you. Trey, not rooting for you. Person watching my show, definitely not rooting for you. You're on your own. Make something out of your own life. I can't make it happen. I got enough on my plate as it is, okay? I got a lot of stress. It's not my responsibility. I don't have to pick a quarterback here, okay? They're all terrible. I don't have to pick. Terrible in a good way, like good terrible. I'm sorry. Someone said Kinlaw would eat your squirrel. That's not nice. What did this squirrel do to anyone? Kinlaw never met this squirrel. Maybe Kinlaw had a personal issue with the squirrel he killed that one time. It could have been personal. Maybe where Kinlaw was living, the squirrels were overpopulating the area. He could have had his reasons. I don't think he would. I think it's a new Kinlaw. I'm just saying. Squirrel time. You understand how fucking hot it's going to be in Vegas? You understand? Do you understand? What's the point? It's the last time of the year you should be in Vegas, August. So they'll have practice in the morning, and then I'll come home. And then what am I going to do? What am I going to do, huh? Wait for the sun to go down. Sweet. Take a nap. It's going to be dope. It's going to be really dope. Why are there professional teams in Vegas? How about that? I understand hockey, basketball, because those sports are inside. Football? In Vegas? Why? That's like putting a team on Mars. What the hell? And the thing is, this team used to play in Oakland, where I live. They could have been doing this joint practice in freaking Alameda, 10 minutes from me. That would have been wonderful. But no, they're like, let's do it in 105-degree heat and hope that nothing bad happens. Cool. I'll make the most of it. Thanks for watching. I'm out. Next time I see you, I'll be in. I think I'll be probably streaming tomorrow morning. Probably. Got Ryan at 11. Probably Rob at 9. So, see you then. Bye, guys.